You're trying to get into a relationship. You're building an entire business from scratch. You've got money going out in all directions.
Yeah.
But you're looking towards an end point. You're nearly there. You've nearly finished.
So we thought at the time, yeah, like, but at the same time, it was like near bankruptcy still, you know, where it's like, right, if I don't move soon, this is going to be it, you know. Nobody was telling me this.
You know, all on the fly.
Yeah, it's like nobody was guiding me. Nobody was like, "Oh, you're doing too much here." I feel like I've been hit by a brick wall. You know what I mean? Like
telltale signs coming.
Yeah, so I was like, right, I'm gonna do a test, COVID test. Boom, positive. And it's like. This episode's all about how you can build the perfect space, but if you don't have the right culture, it will collapse from the inside out. So, welcome back to the AMAVI podcast. Last episode, we talked about surviving lockdowns, cryptocurrency, near bankruptcy, and secure space for the first real studio. But getting the keys was just the beginning. This is where things really get going. So, let's get into this.
Absolutely. Hi. So I'm taking the spot for Maddie.
Yeah.
For this episode.
Well, Maddie's still here. We should probably introduce everyone here. So, like, Jack, say hello.
Hello.
Alan, of course,
Hello.
he's here.
Oh, fuck. Hey, that's my hand.
Producer and cameraman.
Maddie's over here.
Back.
And then today, we have Callum joining us as well.
Yeah, we've got a little posse viewing us here today.
Oh, yes. So, yeah.
Don't mind.
You've got a crowd. Make us laugh.
Oh, so we've got to be funny. That's an additional of this entire thing. Funny.
I'm not very good at
Well, you do the information, I'll do the funny.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'll do, yeah. I can do that.
So, I mean, last episode.
Yeah, we finished off with Katrina, wasn't it?
Yeah, love of your life, I think is what you said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you meet her?
Well, yeah, it was at a party, believe it or not. Yeah, so a friend of mine got in touch, was like, hey, from this party, if you want to, come down. I was like, yeah, sure. At that stage, I was like, right, I need to be focusing on the business. I need to, basically kickstart the whole thing. So yeah, I was kind of like closing myself off, from just meeting new people and stuff like that. So I was a bit anxious, like going there, but, no, it was awesome. It was a good party. I mean, that's where me and Katrina went.
Thank God you took the leap.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, see, if I didn't go, I don't think we would have met.
And you said she's probably instrumental in everything that's went on.
Oh, yeah. She's been incredibly supportive and, like, literally couldn't have done any of this without her, to be honest, man.
I have to get on the podcast one of these days.
Oh, yeah. No, it's part of the plan for sure, yeah.
That's good.
It could be good.
So think back in that time when you just met her. Mm-hmm. Where were you at the studio? You were getting into this relationship.
Yeah, it was literally just the works were just finishing off. So the joiners, the painters, like everyone was basically finishing up at this stage. Well, the painter stuck around for a wee bit longer. Mm-hmm. So like the stress was really there, and then I knew I'm going to have to like move as well. And getting that sorted and, finding someone with a van or renting it, So, everything was like really stressful. So,
I mean, it's just like, no, I've never attempted to build a business, but I mean, here's you in your young years, your 20s. You're trying to get into a relationship. You're building an entire business from scratch. You've got money going out in all directions.
Yeah.
But you're looking towards an end point. You're nearly there. You've nearly finished. You've nearly,
so we thought at the time, yeah, like, but at the same time, it was like near bankruptcy still, where it's like, right, if I don't move soon, this is going to be it, so that's,
you kind of had that like floating on your mind at the time?
Yeah, pretty much,
well,
yeah.
What about the barber? That'd be interesting.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, tensions were building because like, to be honest, like everything was fantastic right up until like we started, starting to, decide on a moving date, and like, I don't know, tension was just starting to build. We were just getting like on each other's nerves, so I was just like, shit, okay, I need out of here, like sooner the better. Yeah. Cause then like I'll be in my own space then and feeling a wee bit more sort of comfortable, so there's pressure, being applied there, So yeah.
Because I mean, you'd worked out of this. How long had you been working out of the back of that barber's at that point?
It's only over a year. Honestly, a year, too long, I only wanted to stay there for, less than a year.
Yeah, it's always a temporary measure, really.
Yeah, but when COVID hit, then I kind of threw Shanner.
Everything.
Yeah. So everything took a lot longer,
Well, I mean, it must be nice. So obviously tensions were getting hard. You were stepping each other's toes, yourself and the barber. So finally being able to get out of there, it's going to be nice to at least get that relief out for you.
Yeah, for sure. But then,
well, where were you sitting? So the plans were coming together. People had reached out to you. You were interested in this space becoming more than just the tattoo, studio that you hoped it was going to be.
Yes. Piercer. That's where we're at. Yeah. All right. So, basically, the piercer that,
you'd already been speaking to.
Yeah. I set him up, in the career. So it came time to, it's like, right, we're moving, right. We know the date. So I organized for two of my good clients at the time. They offered to help. I was like, oh, unreal.
Amazing. Awesome.
One of them has the big, Sprinter van, the Mercedes Sprinter van.
Yeah.
That he always helps people out. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This really worked out well. And then another client of mine, he's a unit. He's so tall. He's built the
perfect guy you want to help move large areas.
Yeah. So I was I organized them to come in and help, but before that, I was speaking to a piercer. I was like, look, this is when we're moving, and then he was like, well, I was actually thinking, I'm only going to do a couple of days in your studio and then I'm going to stay here. I was like, whoa.
That wasn't the original agreement, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's self-employed. You can do whatever you want. I was like, okay, I can't control what you're doing, whatever. We can see how it goes, but, for a studio that claims to do piercings, we're not going to be doing piercings all that often.
Majority of the week.
And I seen it coming, people were coming to us, it was like, hey, can I get a piercing? And, we're like, piercer's not actually here. It's like, well, where else can I go? And it's like,
You're
so
actively losing business.
Exactly, yeah. And here's another kicker. It's we couldn't even book them in, because it was done through their booking system.
So completely different, completely off.
Yeah. So it's it's not going to work, so we're telling them oh, you have to go to their website to book in online. We can't book them in.
How many people are actually going to follow through on that?
Exactly. So why were we advertising that we were doing piercings when we weren't really doing piercings? So it was just had a piercer visiting us a couple of days a week. I was like, that was a real kicker where it's oh dude, I thought we're going to build something great together,
it looked like a business partnership, really. But.
Yeah, and I knew we were going to be busy. It's not I was just going in with false hope that hey, and
you knew there was business there. You knew people wanted piercings.
Yeah.
You talked to him through it and everything, and not he just wasn't pulling up his side of the deal.
Exactly. Yeah. So I just felt oh wow, I helped this person, so much to. I'm not trying to take credit for everything, obviously, but, helping this person get to where they are. And then, last minute, I'm not gonna.
Pulls the rug under.
Yeah. I'm not going to play ball with you. And it's right, okay.
And you were running into other issues alongside that?
Yeah, but so we basically agreed on he was going to come in 2 days a week. I was like, all right, cool. We'll see how it goes. But I can't make any promises though, right? So yeah. And then, moving into the studio. Oh wow. There was so much crap, and then I had everything from my last place that I was living in.
Yeah.
Because the studio was so big, it literally took everything I had. The wee room that I was renting out of, to do a tattoo. And then I was right, we need reception. So I moved everything that I had, all personal possessions.
From your house?
Yeah. So the reception was technically my living room,
Just the stuff pulled out of it?
Yeah, the sofa, the coffee table and stuff like that. It was literally everything, wee ornaments and stuff like that. But it filled the space, the paintings in this room actually were
stuff that you had up there?
Yeah, you'll see in the proper presentation.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, during the move, we like packed everything up. Well, the guy with the van, he pulls up and goes, "Oh, I was actually out last night
On a bit of a sesh.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. In the height of COVID, that's great. So I'm like, I'm worried.
This can't ever come back to bite you.
I know, right? So like, oh, okay. Well, let's hopefully, hope.
Just get it done.
Yeah. So we moved everything in, and then they just literally dumped everything at like the front of the shop, inside. And then I was like, right, I'm gonna like stick around, evenings and stuff like that, just try and get through everything, move everything, and then I started feeling a little off, I was like,
A little scratchy throat.
yeah, but here's the thing, like as soon as I moved in, set everything up, we had to get like environmental health out, right, to inspect the area and make sure we saved the tattoo.
Of course, yeah.
I had them already planned and booked, so like the move, the inspection literally the next day or two. So as soon as like set up, and then she done the inspection and was like, yeah, you're good to go, you clearly know what you're doing. And I was like, all right, sweet. When are you starting? My client's literally coming in now. It's like, oh,
On a tight schedule.
yeah. She was like, oh, right, okay, I'll just get out of your way then. It's like, all right, sweet. Kind of comes in, I do a tattoo and stuff like that. But then, like, literally that evening, I felt really off, like, my bones started, like, hurting and stuff. And I was like, I feel like I've been hit by a brick wall, you know what I mean? Like,
Telltale signs coming up.
yeah, so I was like, right, I'm going to do a test, COVID test. Boom, positive. And it's like, I can't afford this. Like, I can't afford to
That
take.
just stops your business. Literally just
Yeah.
stops your business completely.
Exactly. So I can't take 10 days off because, bills are piling up, I'm in debt, and like, I have no money. So I had to work to earn or else I'm done for, So I literally faced no option. It was like messaging my clients being like, look, I just let you know I have COVID, but I'm not actually too bad. I'm still able to tattoo. I can't book you in for another like 3 or 4 months, and I need money right now, or else I'm screwed. Like I will collapse. And they were like, "Oh, that's okay. As long as like I'll wear a mask, you wear a mask."
Full PPE.
Yeah. Everyone was happy enough. They were like, "Oh yeah, that's fine," and like some of them were even like funny, it's just like. Oh, and the one bites the dust, that sort of thing.
Well, here, I was going to say, it shows you these people evidently were so enthralled by your art and your skill that they were willing to risk COVID.
Well,
Obviously,
but, I followed every precautions I could,
Absolutely.
Like everything worked out fine. Nobody got sick, which is incredible.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and like for me, it was just a bit of a struggle trying to get through it, but like I did, and
it's another problem that you overcame.
but it was tough because I was sweating buckets, covering in this PPE in this room, like with a mask and all, like
I couldn't. Awful.
Yeah, so at the time I was like near 40,000 in debt, so like I literally had no option, and like no money in the bank to pay rent and stuff. So, as soon as I recovered from that, I got the 2 apprentices I was teaching in the previous barbershop.
Yeah.
So up until like I told them like, look, we're gonna have to like take a break here, because it's the move.
Getting crazy, yeah.
No, I was transparent in everything like we were doing, it's like, look, just to let you know that this, the barbershop area is temporary. I'm opening my own studio, showing them the plans and stuff like that, architect plans, even seen it before, like the work started properly sort of like happening, just so that they're like fully aware of what they're
going on.
getting.
Trying to give them a better experience maybe than you got.
Yeah, like trying to include them into like everything and listen to their opinions and advice. But problem was I was like too like
There's so much going on, so many voices.
Yeah. So, at the time I was like, right, well, they were ready on skin before we were even like moving to the new studio, so like they knew what they were doing, it's not like I was just like, oh yeah, here's a tattoo machine, way you go. It's like,
get on with it.
yeah, like that's what my mentor done, whereas like I showed them like absolutely everything, like what I wish I got, and they're like, everyone was happy enough working away, but the studio was not good at the time, like it was coming into winter. Yeah, it was so cold. Like the heating that we had was oil heating, and there was only like 3 or 4 radiators in this giant space, there wasn't even heating upstairs. Like,
God,
so like,
freezing.
yeah, and I was working with like one or two Dysons. Yeah, basically we had like electric heater up at the front where like Katrina was like helping me out, like at reception and stuff. So she was sitting there with like freezing, like yeah, and like a bare studio, like no sort of skirting boards or anything like that,
Yeah.
But I'll show you some of this actually. That's like the beauty room that we had sort of set up. But yeah, we'll get to that. And like we're putting the sign up and stuff like that. Yeah, actually, forget this area. Future Alan. We'll come back to this.
Okay.
Yeah, because
we've got something for later.
Yeah, because that's going to segue into so many different things.
Well, look, I mean, like this is. I'm so interested to get into this because for as much as we've heard of how much a struggle this was, we're all probably hoping that it's going to end with a really nice bang here. But of course, it doesn't. It keeps going.
Oh yeah.
There's more issues to pile on.
Oh, dude, yeah. So like the vision at the time was like to create, the tattoo and lens of things, piercings, and then everyone sort of has this idea of like combining lots of different services together, like beauty, barbershop, or like a hairdresser's, that sort of thing. And like, we had the space for a wee cafe as well. So it was like, right, that's what the rooms are dedicated to. And, the entrance was going to be cafe. It didn't really, go that way. I was young, ambitious, and just dumb, I was like taking on like too much.
I was going to say, because at this time you were 23? 22,
yeah, 22, 23, yeah.
How young that is to try to be balancing so many things. It's just...
it was just too ambitious, yeah. But here's the thing, nobody was telling me this.
You did it all on the fly.
It's like nobody was guiding me. Nobody was like, "Oh, you're doing too much here." Like maybe focus on one thing or the other. It's like nobody came to me and said that, or it's like nobody sat me down and was like, "Hey, how are you actually managing mentally here?" You know what I mean? So like, it was like incredibly difficult. And like, here's the thing: you don't know some of the things until it
just happens.
Yeah. For example, like I didn't know we had to pay for water for the studio. Right?
Water rates?
Yeah. So, because we never got the letter, to say that like, hey, here's the water bill, you need to pay this. So our water just randomly cut off.
So they don't inform you about it?
Yeah, no, like I literally didn't have like any letter or anything. So I was like, okay, why is our water off? So like I'm phoning like one of the plumbers from like here, what do I do? It's like, oh, where's your meter? I'm like, I don't know.
Again, who tells you?
Yeah. It's like, where would I even find this, So I had to like find everything out as I was going, and then you were like, oh, did you pay your water bill? I was like, there's a water bill?
Yeah, just which is amazing, fantastic. Another expenditure to the growing list of stuff.
Oh yeah. I was like, okay, so phone Water and they're like, oh yeah, you need to set up an account and then you need to pay your water bill. And I didn't know how much I was like expected to pay here. I was like, okay, how much is it? And he's like, well, we'll get your account set up first of all to find out. I'm like,
God.
Okay, so I'm expecting like 10 grand here, and then, he was like, oh yeah, so it's just going to be like £90. I was like, okay, that's not too bad, but still,
It's just another bit of money.
Yeah, but if that was from the times that like the builders were not using the water, how much are we actually going to use?
Get into.
Yeah, so I'm like nervous about, what it's actually going to cost, in the future, but, no, we got the water back on, so
goodness Christ,
and then as like the painters were finishing up, the painter was like, oh here, my daughter just finished beauty, like tech and beauty, and she needs somewhere to work. I see you have lots of like spaces here, and I was like, yeah, that's actually part of the plan to get beauticians.
Yeah, exactly what you're looking,
Yeah, so I was like, hey, okay, cool, well, do you want to get them in for a chat? They come in, it's her and her friend, and I was like, look, let's do like £50 a week, you just pay rent.
Very reasonable, very reasonable.
And, just, we'll go from there. It's like, okay, yeah, that sounds good. So we done like a bit of promotion for them, not a lot, you know, because I didn't know what way things were going to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that didn't like last not long at all.
Right.
Yeah, so it was like literally a couple of weeks after they stopped paying because there were no customers. Some people are like complaining about their like work and stuff, you know, coming in. It's like, oh, my nails fell off literally within 2 days or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, these are the things I did not see.
Yeah, suddenly you're having to answer for like
other people's. Yeah. So I was like, okay, these guys are gonna give us a bit of a bad name, you know. So I was like, okay, I don't really know what is gonna happen. And then one of them completely stopped showing up. So and that was it. It was just like, look, I'm paying rent, nothing's like improving. There's only one person coming in, and she's paying me like £25 a week.
Yeah.
You know, basically her half, you know. I was like, right, okay, I can't really kick you out, you know what I mean? So I felt bad.
Put in an awkward circumstance when you're trying to be nice, trying to make something work.
Yeah, and like trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, things are going to improve. Things are going to go better, with time. And, no. They ended up hacking it in. But here's the thing. Like the person who just stopped, like her friend just stopped coming in.
Yeah.
Left all the equipment in that room. So it was like, okay, like for months. Right? And until one day he messaged me and goes, hey, I'm collecting my equipment. You know, like, okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, finally, you know. It comes in and like starts to like pack everything up. It's like, do you have an Allen key set? I'm like, yeah, give it to her. Takes it on me. I'm like, yeah. I messaged her. I was like, here, I give you the Allen key to give back to me. Like, what's going on here, you know? Yeah, and then they started like, there was loads of little problems, you know. So that was my first kind of, hey, be careful, like introducing new businesses. Like, that's
your first taste of it.
Yeah, like business within a business isn't going to work, you know.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, so that's what that sort of taught me, but I didn't learn my lesson there, you know. And then they got us like to do like a couple of wee bits and pieces. So like we were like drilling holes and you know, putting everything up on the walls.
Yeah, trying to get everything sorted last minute.
Yeah, but for them to like literally just pack up and, you know, like close down, you know, so we were left with like, okay, like holes in the walls, everything, you know. So yeah, like that was pretty crappy.
Yeah.
I know, where are we?
So like by this point the place it's basically complete, right? You're the last tiny bits, the painter's finishing up.
No, we were right past that, you know. So yeah.
I think it's good to mention that the studio, from where it was in the bare roots when you had started taking customers again, it was now getting to a point where it was actually complete.
Well, almost. So yeah, we, you know, brought the 2 apprentices back. You know, the painters all finished up. 2 apprentices came in. We got the, you know, the beauticians in.
Yeah.
But nobody was like, it was still like, the shop was completely empty still, you know. So it was like, right, okay. And then the piercer was coming in 2 days a week. So I set up like another station in the back room. So we had the tattoo set up and then the piercing set up.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like a shared space, you know, to make use of that room, you know. And then, we sort of thought like, right, okay, we'll get a barbershop as well. No, like, I'm still a crazy mind dad.
You're still looking towards this dream.
But I was sort of thinking like, oh, okay, well, the apprentices, yeah, they're doing okay, but they're not, they're part-time. They're still part-time. They have part-time jobs and they don't want to go full-time. And, you know, I'm trying to tell them like, look, you know, accept these like small tattoos, do this, even do that, you know. And they weren't really listening like they were, but they weren't. But one of them was trying really hard, you know, like, she was constantly like tattooing like every day, which is awesome.
That's exactly what you're hoping to see, absolutely.
Yeah, but, so, you know, I had like my setup beside me, and then the back room, you know, the setup with the piercing. And then, you know, we hired, we set up the barbershop and we were advertising for a barber. And then this guy walks past and he's like, oh, I love this face. You know, this is awesome. You know, I'm like, I started speaking himself up, but working with all these like companies and stuff like that. He's a hairdresser, not a barber. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I should have done my research. I don't know how valid that is, you know.
Yeah, he was giving you a lot of good lines, but how true were any of them?
Exactly, yeah. So I was like, oh wow, this is incredible. Yeah. And like his kind of like aura was like great. I was like, yeah, he's the guy that like we need, you know. And then he looked at the back room and he's like, we need the barbershop at the front because we need people walking past and seeing it. And I was like, okay, well, we obviously can't afford the coffee shop yet, you know, so like we'll just have a barbershop there, right? And then, this is basically how it started kind of like looking, you know, like we had
that's quite
one
nice.
mirror and like this fancy chair, you know, and then basically.
I dread to think how much a fancy chair like that costs.
Yeah, it was about like $3,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I sort of thought like, it's the front of the shop.
It's an investment.
It
It's a statement piece, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, right, it needs to be good, you know? And then he was coming in and, basically like everyone was okay for a short while.
Yeah.
You know,
honeymoon zone.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't even that. It was very short lived. That was like, oh, I'm not coming in today because, you know, like I just need like my day off. And it's like, dude, like what? You have customers coming in for a haircut. They're booked in. Like, what do you mean you're taking a personal day?
And you're not his boss.
Yeah.
In the circumstances,
exactly.
Right?
So I'm like, I can't tell him what to do, but now it's like, okay, this is a letdown. Maybe it's just like,
one off. Yeah, we all have
kept happening. So it's like, dude, right, we don't have enough customers as it is, and you're letting every single one of them down.
Yeah.
What's going on, you know? And I got a couple of complaints about his, like, cuts as well, and it's like, oh, great, you know? Like,
another thing that you now have to deal with.
Yeah, and then, but that was the thing, he was shifting blame on me. It's like, oh, there's no communication here, like, this is, like, disaster and chaos, and it's like, dude, what am I meant to do with that? It's like, I'm a piece of shit for not communicating with you properly whenever you're not even here to show up.
And it's like it's your responsibility. Again, this was always a premise of it's his like business in there. You're kind of hosting it. Why are you now being blamed like some kind of boss with none of the benefits that brings?
Exactly. Yeah. Like, so no, it just wasn't really working out. And then, you know, like it was another, like this kid comes in, right, and he's like, oh, I'm just finished tech barbering, I need somewhere to work and kind of learn from you guys, you know. And we're like, okay. I asked, you know, the barber and was like, hey, are you okay teaching? And he's like, yeah, this before he started like not showing up and stuff. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So not only was he letting us down, he was letting my kid down. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you know, so, at this stage we already had like 2 chairs and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, at the time we were still making adjustments to the studio because, you know, like, okay, let's try to start this because hopefully this is going to make money. Let's start this because like I was hellbent on trying to introduce another stream of income because it was still all
everything was piling up
on me still, you know, to make the big bucks, you know, to survive. So I was still working pretty much every day.
Yeah, non-stop.
Yeah, just to support this. And it's like, okay. Meanwhile, all the lights were on. You know, like for like say, like one person comes in, like that girl that does the beauty, £25 a week, comes in, turns all the lights on. The hallway, there's 52 lights, turns all of them on. 52 lights. Yeah. And sometimes she would just come in to just do her own makeup. Yeah, I was like, okay.
So you were being fully taken advantage of. I don't think that's beyond saying. A lot of these circumstances were people that took advantage of the fact that you were trying to build something.
Yeah, but nobody was like giving a shit about anything that important.
Yeah.
And I was asking, I was like, hey, what can I do to like make things better and improve and stuff like that? And it was like, oh, can we get a bigger sink? Because like that small sink, that I had to, you know, buy to, you know, so they can wash their hands to like, you know, like, it's too small, whatever, you know, and it's like, that's more money.
Yeah, that's not.
No, like I'm trying to like find solutions and introduce more money, not cost more money. Like I understand, but like you want a bigger sink, but like this is, it still does the job.
The business.
Yeah. Like how can we grow this? How can we like survive, you know? Not like, hey, we need skirting boards.
Yeah.
Hey, how about we get more lights? It's like, okay, these are not useful or helpful whatsoever, you know. So yeah, and then, basically whenever the barbershop was going on, we needed more advertising. We needed more, like, customers for all services. So, like, the barber was like, oh yeah, I actually know of someone. Turns out I've tattooed them before. I know who they are. So I'm like, oh, hey, just so, let you know, I've opened the studio. Do you want to come down and have a chat? She does like freelance work, for social media. I was like, hey, why don't we get you in like 2 or 3 days a week to like take photos, videos and post them up, basically like manage their social media. And we agreed on, like £250 a week. That's crazy,
That's
right? For like 2 or 3 days taking photos, videos and stuff like that, And of course, like they were helping out and covering like reception as well. So it kind of doubled up as a person at the front that can divert traffic as they're coming in, And I was like, okay, that's well and good, but they're not actually doing what we agreed on, It was like, so why aren't you like taking photos of me working?
Not so big headed.
Yeah, like you're kind of, like you're kind of doing what like we agree on, but not really.
Not quite.
Yeah. So I'm trying to be like, oh, can you do this more? Can you do that more? And then it just got to this stage where it's like, this person's not really doing, what I've asked them to do. Yeah. So I'm giving them jobs to like kick rocks, basically. Like, oh, can you like go down the shop and get maybe like more soap or something there?
Just tiny things that
something that like
no idea,
nobody can mess up, you know what I mean? So and then like that's where like the job titles started to get blurred, where it's like,
what actually are you?
But then like the complaints of like, oh, so, maybe it's just because like they're part-time, 2 or 3 days a week. So it's like, hey, if I get them full-time, maybe they will commit fully.
It's better.
Yeah, maybe they need more money.
You were so bright-eyed.
Yeah, I was like, let's look at the positive. Yeah. I was like, hey, do you want to come in every day? And I'll give you £500 a week. That's $2,000, man. That I was paying this person to not do what they initially needed to do. I was like, jeez, this is...
Looking back on it now, obviously it looks crazy. At the time, the only thing you were thinking about was, I need to get them back on track. What's it going to take me to get there? You were just so willing to try and make the business work. You would really throw any amount of cash at these people to try and get it.
Yeah, to make it work. But no, because I was missing the qualities and the skills that I possess now, through making those
everything you had to learn this hard journey.
Yeah, so basically at the time, my friend as well, to lend me the 12,000.
The man who invested with you before,
Yeah, so he was like, we're still calling each other, I was like, still best mates, so I was like explaining to him, what I was doing, like super hyped and stuff, still very hopeful on my journey, and like, thinking like, oh yeah, stars are aligning, things are working out, I'll have the barbershop,
it's all coming together.
Yeah, the 2 apprentices, myself, Katrina, like everything was, in my eyes at the time, like, hey, working out.
Finally kind of the puzzle coming together, as it were.
But the foundation was crumbling, So, and then like, we had to pierce her 2 days a week. So I was like, right, okay, So, he was like, my friend then was on the phone, was like, dude, I'm actually depressed here. Like, I'm really miserable where I am in, like, career-wise. I can't say for sure, like, what he'd done, but, basically he needed out of there. And I was like, oh, dude, I told you, like, you were there for me whenever, like,
you needed
yeah. So, like, dude, I'm happy enough to take it on. I'll give you something in the shop, whatever it is. Like, I'm fully supportive of your decision if you do want to, like, jump ship. And he was like, right, okay. And then we started talking more and more and more about it. And then it's like, right, yeah, I'm going to come in with you. So I've left. And I'm, he was like literally like videoing like him walking through the airport and stuff like that, sending it to me. Like, yeah, it's awesome. I'm going to like build a business with my bro. You know what I mean?
Well, that's really nice.
That's a dream, and like, we go back to like, literally when we were kids, So anyway, basically, he starts coming in, I'm like, right, what do you want to do? And stuff like that. And then at the time it was the piercer, he was really pissing me off. It was like, he was giving me like £25 a week, and coming in 2 days. 2 days a week. I'm like, right, we need Pearson's full time, basically. So I was like,
you're taking a hit basically to your image as well with that.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. And then like we're diverting traffic to his business. You know, it's like, no, this
completely
is
against what you're trying to do.
Yeah. So it's like, no, this guy is not playing ball. And also for like a client of mine, he was like, oh, is that such and such? I'm like, yeah. It's like, be careful with him. That's when I knew. I was like, oh, okay. Why?
You were getting warned. What?
Yeah. It turns out he took a business, another business that he has without, like, not the best morally way, let's say that. And basically it was disastrous. So I was like, oh, is this person trying to like wiggle their way in to then
kind of, grapple your own business out from under you?
Yeah. And I probably, like, in that state of mind at the time that I was in, like, if I was really struggling, I probably would have agreed on something silly, like,
And you wanted that?
yeah, like 50-50 if he invests and pulls my ass out of like this debt or something, you know, and that would have been easy for him to be like, oh yeah, fuck off now, you know, it's like, this is my business.
That's horrendous.
Yeah.
How horrifying that would have been.
Yeah, so as soon as I realized that, I was like, right, okay, I don't know what to expect here, but either way,
You're on guard.
it wasn't, yeah. So like whenever I started noticing these things, you know, like the money he was giving me like per week wasn't even equivalent to like the energy that was used, you know, like, and it just wasn't sustainable. I was like, right, there are customers. So I called him out the back and I was like, there are customers, but we need you more than 2 days a week. And, I understand you want to be like 2 or 3 days in another location where we were previously, but it's not working out for me. I told you this before. So like, I think we'd just call it a day. And he was like, oh, so you're letting me go? I'm like, yeah. It's like, how much notice you're giving me? I'm like, take as long as you need. Like, literally, this isn't like a get out right now moment
Yeah,
thing,
it's
you know?
just like a kind of warning about it.
Exactly, yeah. So then I just went, I was like, right, okay. You know, I was like, oh, fine. So I went back in and then I went back to tattooing, right? And then, basically Katrina messaged me and was like, yeah, he's just left. They packed his things, he's just left. And I was like, oh, okay. So like I was trying to be decent with you and, you know, told you like, yeah. He's basically, it was like, threw your head up and was like, oh, whatever. Made a snarky comment, like leaving the studio as well. It's like, cause like Katrina, like she is an artist herself. Like I seen her out and I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. And then she was like, yeah, I'd love to get into tattooing, but I'm just not confident doing that. So I looked into hand poke methods of tattooing and like, I think that's something I can do. And I'm like, well, I can show you how to set up and do everything hygienically, but when it comes to the actual method of tattooing,
Teach yourself, like
you're gonna have to, because like I know nothing about this, so just making you aware of that. So like, yeah, that's fine. You know what? I can learn about myself. You know, it's like, okay, cool. So I started practicing doing that on latex and stuff like that. And then as like the piercer was walking on, I was like, good luck with your pokey poke and all this. And basically, there's like a stigma in the tattooing industry where, machine tattooing and hand poke isn't like real form of tattooing.
Oh, it's looked down upon.
Yeah.
I love to see elitism, you know, everywhere you go.
So literally, I think it was later that evening or the next day, created a post being like, I'm not part of AMAVI anymore. We're not, like, I don't quality check the Pearsons that come out of there and stuff like that, you know, but like word in a way is like basically saying that like we did something wrong, you know,
or look like he's the one who cut it off.
And like basically that like we're like messing people's piercings up, you know, that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, dude, that looks weird.
Yeah,
like,
it's so bad looking for him.
Yeah. I was like, dude, why would you do that? You know, I was like very helpful and supportive at the beginning. You know, I told you that like, I don't know how it's going to happen, you know, with especially 2 or 3 days a week, you know, and like, it just got to that stage. It was like, it's not going to work out. Take as much time as you need.
I think I was going to say you were much nicer than really he.
Yeah, and then basically he starts throwing like toys out of his pram. You know, like whenever. Yeah, it's like, dude, like why would you do that? You know what I mean? It's like, especially from a young entrepreneur that he was claiming to be. You know, it's like, would you not like sympathize that like, hey, I'm going through a lot too. You know what I mean? So it was like that was a real kick in the teeth. But like whatever, I just forgot that he even existed onto that.
I mean, that would help you to do it.
just like, I'm very quick to move on after like,
Healthy.
after all that, you know, it's like,
It'd be very healthy.
they're just like, forget about it, you know? So yeah, it's such a weird scenario, but, literally whenever I let him go, it's like, right, we don't do any piercings anymore, though. That's the problem. So my friend then, that wanted to work with me, I basically was like, look, why don't you do piercings? Everyone else was like, no way, no, don't trust me to do piercings. You know, it's like, okay, guess who we had, no, sorry, I'm getting the story mixed up.
We went through so much.
Hang on, no, let's not segue. Okay. It was, yeah, so basically whenever I fired the piercer, right?
Yeah.
We taught the barber because he wasn't that busy with haircuts and stuff like that. And it was mutually agreed upon in the studio. And I was like, okay, is it, who wants to learn how to pierce? Because we need a piercer. Because clearly we have customers coming in asking for piercing.
There was a necessity for it and you weren't still.
So I was like, right, it's either my friend or the barber. And, they were like,
the barber had already proven.
Yeah, well, no, but this is before he started messing about, not showing up and stuff like that, right? I was like, okay, everyone was like, oh yeah, train him because like he's not that busy. And I was like, oh, okay, right. But I wanted my friend to do it, right? Yeah, but I was like, right, fine. You know, I'll listen to everybody else because I was trying to listen to.
You were trying to be a good leader, trying to listen to everybody.
Exactly, yeah. But then we trained him up, spent like, you know, hundreds on everything, bought the equipment and stuff like that. Spent over £1,000, I think, on the whole setup and the training and stuff like that, right? And then. Yeah, it didn't work out because obviously he started like messing up and stuff, you know.
Because you're in the worst position possible. You are the boss. Yeah. And you're simultaneously not the boss.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with all the worst aspects of it.
Yeah, so.
No real power.
But anyway, whenever that fell through, we sold off the barber equipment. I was like, okay, let's double down on tattooing.
Let's do anything if bloody working.
Yeah, so we'll get another, basically, more equipment, more setup. You know, for, like another station and stuff like that. Because, and then I taught my friend how to, it wasn't me personally, I taught my friend how to pierce.
You sorted him out.
Yeah, I got him into the training needed. So he was flying as soon as he did that.
Yeah? Yeah,
and, you know, at the time he was living with his mum and he was like, dude, I don't want to live with her anymore. And I was like, fair enough. I completely understand. And I was like, dude, I have a spare room, you know, like move in. I'm not going to even ask you for rent. He's like, okay, that's fine. It'll just be for a little while. I'm like, dude, honestly, stay as long as you want.
You're very nice.
He moved in, right? And as a result, he started helping out a lot more in the shop. So like whenever we needed like things done, like sort of stuff out with like build something new with like a joiner or something.
Yeah, he would help.
I would instruct him to like sort of things like. But problem with that is like there was a lot of miscommunication and he was doing some things that like weren't right, you know, but it was hard for me to like communicate that as well.
Yeah, you were friends first of all. And now you're kind of business partners working alongside each other.
Yeah, but like that's the dream, you know, you and the bros like building a business together. Yeah. So like everything was going really well then from there, you know, me and him. But we did clash here and there, you know, like anyone does, you know what I mean? And like any like family member, we kind of seen each other as family at the time. It was like, we will fight, you know. But anyway, so, whenever we let the barbershop go, invest in more equipment, why? Because people were coming to me asking me to teach them how to tattoo.
Wow.
So whenever I was still in the barbershop in the previous place, I had a fella and he was like, oh, can you teach me how to tattoo? I was like, I already have 2 apprentices part-time. I don't have space. I don't have the time for you. But I think whenever I open this new studio, I might be able to. I was like, okay, well, I'll get in touch with you then, you know, but you can't come back for more tattoos with me, so the next session that we had, hey, so I bought a tattoo machine and I'm practicing at home on latex. And I was like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. You're literally going to shoot yourself in the foot.
You'll pick up some really bad habits.
Yeah. You're going to pick up bad habits. I don't know what you're going to do here, you know, but you can't, like, if he starts tattooing people in the house, that's a criminal offense.
Really?
Well, I don't know the height of it, but, yeah, like, if environmental health, like Department of Health find out, yeah, that would be it, you know? So I was like, dude, like, just wait, okay? Like, whenever I open the studio, I'll show you. Cause like, you know, you build that relationship with your client, you know, like as you're tattooing, and especially if they're trying to pursue your dream too, you know, so I'm like, hey,
you're trying to help them out.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, whenever I opened the new shop, he was in getting tattooed, and I was like, look, you know, the two apprentices I have, they're more like junior artists now because they know exactly what they're doing. Never had an infection, never had a blowout.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, one of them's like really busy tattooing every day, went full time. Awesome. Amazing. This is great. Yeah. I'm really supportive of that. And then the second one was still part time. But when you're part time, you start to lose things, you know, like how to like do things in tattooing, you know, but
so if you're not doing like consistently enough?
Exactly. Yeah. So, basically, I'll get into that later.
We'll find out later.
Yeah. But, sorry, I forgot where I was.
Well,
yeah. So I trained that guy out. You know, I accepted that guy because the two apprentices didn't need me anymore, right?
Yeah.
And then Katrina was doing hand pokes, so we're like, what the hell am I meant to do that? You know? So I was like, okay, I can take someone on the way I sort of seen it, right? So I took him on, and I was like, just doing the same thing where it's like, oh, let's have a look at your, you know, latex, or giving him pointers and stuff like that. But it was, like a thing of like, okay, do this. Wasn't doing it. And then it's like, oh, I like found out I could do this instead. And it's like, but you're not doing what,
you're not the things that you're trying to learn there.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, fine, you know. So I just got like another perspective of like how someone learns, you know. And like things were going okay for him though. Like his latex, his latex skins were clean, you know, really good. And I'm like, okay, well, I think you're pretty much ready. If you feel that you're ready, like bring like a friend in, you know, or like family member. Yeah. So that's what we did, you know. And then I kept checking up on him. He's doing fine, you know. A couple like 2 or 3 tattoos in, I'm quitting. Like this is always meant to be just like a dream. You know, like I shouldn't have like pursued this. Cause like he has kids and a family.
Oh, so he's got a lot going on.
Like full-time job. He went, you know, part-time. He only done like 2 or 3 days a week, you know. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. Completely understand. Later learned he started he done a tattoo on, at the house. Posted it up, was like, hey, I'm taking bookings. It's like,
oh, buddy.
Dude, that's not cool, you know. And, so I got, like my friend actually, the one who's doing piercings, to message him because he didn't get to know him, you know, at the time.
So yeah, just a good individual for it.
Yeah, so he didn't know who he was, right? So he messaged in, you know, a photo of a tattoo he wants, how much is it going to be? And then I told him, like, right, now I ask him, do I have to sign a consent form? Is this like legit? Because you're obviously doing it from your house, you know, that sort of thing. And then like his responses weren't good. And I think that's when he realizes like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this. Like,
it's not just dangerous, but it is, as you say,
unprofessional, unhygienic. Yeah, it's like, dude. And then what were you planning on doing anyway? You know what I mean? Like, were you getting me to help you to then for you to screw me over and start tattooing from the house, avoiding paying chair rent? Is that what you were doing?
Something along the lines. Yeah, just needed some extra cash, you know, something like that. But yeah, he needed to realize. That's not something.
Yeah, and like
it's professionalism.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so you know, that was like a real kicker as well. I was like, dude, what was even that? You know what I mean? So anyway, and then around that time, there was another person asking me to teach them how to tattoo. Mm-hmm. So
they're lining up.
Oh yeah. So I think they're probably seeing like, oh, he's like getting a lot of success here, blah blah blah, whatever. Like in their eyes, but it wasn't the reality, you know. So I was like, oh, okay. And they're talking about another studio they were wanting to apply to. And, you know, I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. I've never met the people. Yeah. So I can't vouch for them. So I was like, look, you know, she was like, I can only do part-time, you know, cause like,
she's got others.
Yeah. What she meant by that is like, I'll come in 1 day a week. How are you meant to learn 1 day a week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
These are so unrealistic when they have this idea.
Yeah, it's like if you, but that's the thing. I was like, I can't tell them what to do. Yeah. You know, and I wanted that flexibility whenever I was starting out. I started off part-time, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, you know, but every time they come in, I'm going to try and make it as useful as possible.
That's really nice. Yeah.
But then, so, that's right, like 2 apprentices. Third one, the guy left, right? Katrina, I don't know, like what to do with like hand poke, so I'm like, okay, you
Just let her do her thing.
yeah, but I taught her like all hygiene and things, and we all done like certificates as well, like bloodborne pathogens and infection prevention control, stuff like that,
Ticking all your boxes.
So we had to do that for laser anyway, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So yeah, I had a few people going, but that's the thing, nobody really needed me, per se.
Not the dream.
Well, the 2 apprentices didn't, Katrina didn't, so it's like, and the other one, the guy left, and so it's like, okay, this new person, wanted to do like Japanese work, and I was like, hey, that's another style, you're not going to step on anyone's toes, because like the first one was like, neo-traditional black and grey work, I was like, cool. Second one, and it was already like junior artist level, and she was like neo-traditional colour work. Cool. And like one was gothic, one wasn't, so it's like
no step
similar. Exactly. Yeah. Katrina, hand poke, cool. Japanese style work, unreal. Imagine that would be
perfect fitting.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, cool. I'll show you how to tattoo. So I started like teaching her, Yeah. And then, basically nobody was still making like enough money to take pressure off me. So I was like, okay, we got laser in. So I got managed to secure a loan to get the laser in. And I thought it was going to be super easy, Now, keep in mind, this is all 2022. This is all within a year,
Crazy. So much is happening in your life.
Yeah. So, basically bought the laser machine. We were expecting it to be like environmental health comes out like, oh yeah, everything's good to go. We set everything up. Cost about, I forget how much, but like definitely over 10 grand. And it was phone environmental health, right? And they go, it's not us that manage it. It's a RQIA. I'm like,
of course it is. Some other governmental organization.
Yeah, I was like, who the hell is RQIA? So I phoned them up and was like, hey, can we get an inspection going? It's like, yeah, you need to make a registration, which is over £1,000. You need all of these notes. You need, have like a, what is it? Like a background check. When you do background check on you and stuff like that.
Background check?
Yeah, like this is
in case you have a criminal record?
Yeah.
And have a laser because you might use it to like threaten a bank or something.
Yeah, so like this was insane, right? And I found out it was only because like it was a law that was passed in 2003 that puts laser tattoo removal alongside hospitals, nursing homes, dental practices. People with doctorates, PhDs, that's been in university for 8 years learning their craft before,
Yeah, for heading out are also having to do the same levels of...
Yeah, and then like, so we're going to have to be doing everything to procedure, like exactly the same set up as them. I was like, are you serious? Like this is way above our heads, but we've already bought all this,
Yeah.
And then we've agreed to pay the laser machine off monthly as well. Like we put a hefty deposit down to pay off monthly.
Yeah, you're already well down the road at this point.
Yeah, we can't stop.
Back.
So we started doing it, and man, this took a whole year to get. So our dreams of like, hey, open a laser service within the year and offer it, because people were asking about it. I was like, hey, there's a clientele here. There's nobody that around
just doing it.
Yeah. That's why nobody's doing it, because it's so incredibly difficult. Yeah. So I was like, oh damn, that was the final nail in the coffin for us. So I was like, right, we're basically a sinking ship here.
That was like the realization, the moment that everything kind of came together.
Yeah. But it was me and my friend that like decided to like do it together, so I got him laser trained, but you could train 2 people at the same time. So I got Katrina trained as well. Because the way I sort of seen it was like, hey, what if you get too busy with patients? Katrina can step in and help. Yeah. So it was like, okay, that might actually like work really well then, So, yeah, but when I heard that, I was like, okay, this is getting dangerous then, because like, I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get the laser removal service going, and we've just gotten another loan out for this, So it was like getting really,
more money heading out, no more money coming in.
Exactly, yeah. But I want to show you, like the next part here is like the halfway point. I want to show you exactly of how the shop looked back then. But we still have a couple of slides there. So yeah, this was like the barber area, and then it was oh, Alan, can we see the screen in the cameras? Yeah, all right, cool. So
I know that cottage.
yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So, you know, like all of these, basically whenever I was asking all the apprentices and people I was training, like, what do you want to
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Yeah, and like, what would you suggest we do next? You know, it's like set up upstairs. I'm like, okay. You know, me and my friend, taught me how to do crypto. We ripped up the carpet, right? And I was like, okay, but I need to put flooring down, you know? So we did have some flooring left from like the center part of the shop where we had to lift it because it was all bowed. We still had that in the unit. I was like, why don't we repurpose that? We didn't have enough to fully finish it upstairs, right? So I was like, okay, we need to rip up a small part of the studio to just...
Yeah, to take the spares off it.
Problem is, I wasn't sure how much to rip up and where, you know, but I agree with the joiner at the time. I was like, hey, you just let us know where to do it.
How much has to go.
Yeah, so imagine like we had this like whole like strip of wood, right? He was like, oh, here. He marked it. He was like, up to here. I was like, okay.
Okay.
So this part or this part, we ripped up the whole area, like, and I sent it to him with photos, these exact photos, me and my friend did it, right? And then he was like, what did you do? He phoned me, he was like, what are you doing? Like, no, I told you like this small area, you know, like this area here that I want you to lift up. Not the whole thing. You know the mess you just made.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh.
Now go back. Look at that smile.
Oh, how little you knew.
Look at that.
Yeah. No, it was fun though. Like,
I can imagine.
yeah, we were getting it, like, it was
The phone call.
the crowbar. Like, one of the builders left the crowbar. And I was like, yeah, what you said? You know?
Yeah, I just need a picture of like after the phone call when you just like curled up in the corner, just like crying with your fucking face in your hands.
Yeah, so I was gutted. I was like, oh no, what are we going to do? So we went and got plywood and put it down, to cover like this whole area.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah, but the problem was like all these little screws were in it, and there was no power tools. Like we didn't have power tools to like shift, you know, like nothing was budging. Like they're screwed in, like, you know, proper.
It's only machine, but not a power tool.
No, we tried a power tool. That was the thing. It was like,
when it didn't work.
So my friend actually went and borrowed a grinder. And then just grinded all of them out. Like, he was a legend, man. Like, that was classy, you know.
Good on him, yeah.
Wait, so that's why only that small part of the shop has wooden floors at the front? So that's why only the part where like the merchants have.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
I never clicked on that. I thought that was
like-
artistic choice. Damn, that worked out.
It's a form of art.
It's art. I definitely didn't fuck this. This is art.
Actually made a mistake there. I didn't put down the plywood because it was too expensive to buy. We couldn't afford it, so we had to do
Plywood?
yeah.
Times are getting tough.
Oh man, yeah. Like I see after COVID, everything tripled. The plywood was insane, and I would have spent like maybe £1,000 on like. Yeah, but these are big, massive squares like we needed, you know, for those areas. So
Only you knew me back then, man. If only you knew me back then. I could have gone that storage for free.
Oh, thanks. That's really useful, right? So we just put up a sign saying like work in progress, don't mind this, like construction in progress, you know, that sort of thing. And we were going to like leave it open, you know. But yeah, so,
So you were getting the top upstairs finished. You finally had the wood. You had lots of wood to get upstairs finished.
basically. So we managed to get it sorted, but there were still like loads of
little
like
tidbits and all. Yeah.
But like once that was all set up, everyone was like working away upstairs, you know.
How many seats did you have at this point?
There's only 2 upstairs.
So 2 at the time.
And then 2 downstairs, my own and the one beside me, right? That was the thing. If anyone needed like to learn something extra or more, you know, or like needed to brush up on things, it's like, it's hard for me to
fit that in.
Yeah, because they're upstairs. I'm not beside them. I'm not, you know, like anywhere near them. So if they're like taking a photo off it, showing me it, you know, it's like, what can I do here? It's like, I need to see your work.
You need to actually see it.
I can. I don't know, but like, sure, like, there's a setup beside me. It's like, oh, we don't want to work beside you. Why? Because, you're always in a deep conversation with your customers, you know, and like we feel awkward, like being near you. And it's like, what?
Awkward.
Because I'm like really friendly with my customers.
Which you are like well known.
We talk about everything. Like, yeah, when you're in the tattoo appointment, like you talk about everything. You know,
it's
like
a therapy session as well.
yeah.
So would that more be coming from the way that if they're like beside you, then maybe they are not awkward to talk to, not awkward because you're talking, but awkward with their client because they can't really speak to their client since it's a bit loud.
Maybe.
Was it that what they meant by awkward?
Either way,
It
was there.
gonna work.
Yeah, like either way, it was there for anyone that like needed it, you know. So like there were like signs then, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, how should I say?
The nicest way possible.
The writing was on the wall.
What?
The writing was on the wall.
Yeah, you can see the signs.
Yeah,
They're all showing.
Yeah, it was starting to come through that like, hey, you know, this isn't like the communication isn't there between me and them, you know, and like that should have been clear sort of signs, you know. But it's difficult, sort of like, what am I?
You were still learning, right? Like it's not fair to say you were in the same position you are now. You were still trying to get used to so much so quickly.
Yeah. Well, see at the front of the shop, we have like mind the step.
Yeah.
Because I was always afraid somebody tripping over that.
And see it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so we had to put like a big sign up there, you know, and we got like, these like metal like strips, you know, we put some in the, like toilets and stuff like that, you know, backdrops.
Yeah.
And all
Just
that.
trying to make sure no one sues your ass.
Well, no, yeah, for the mind step, yeah, but like for this year, it was just like, yeah, whatever, you know, it's just more like,
Clean up.
yeah. And then like we still had like loads of like wee bits and pieces here and there, you know, of like wood. And then this is, I got the joiner to start building like in the unit, you know, the screen printing setup.
Yeah.
So he was working on that at the same time, you know, and then again, the communication between me and the like workmen and like joiners.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, take a photo. Like, is this what you're talking about? Well, what do you need? Is this enough?
This here that's on screen here, this is your communication method, was literally taking a picture and circling it with a question.
Yeah, it's like, would this be enough, you know, for the joiner, that sort of thing, or like, can I get rid of this, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like literally,
What an effective communication method.
so in the unit, leaks started happening. There was a big crack there and it started leaking. I was like, oh, that's great, you know, that's another problem.
You were just seeing more money leaking.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I need to get a roof right. And this roofer, man, Tommy, he's a legend.
Oh, he's a good guy?
Oh, he is.
I thought we were going to get a horror story there.
No. Like anytime we needed him, he was on the ball, you know, and always sorted me out, you know, kept me right. And, yeah, he's a legend. So, he went up there, had a look at it and was like, yeah.
One problem.
He explained to me every time, like, there was a leak, like, why it was happening, you know.
So great communication. He was great work.
Yeah. So it was good. And then we all just went in and started painting it. That's Katrina there. And then just a couple of guys, you know, working with us at the time, helping out. And then we started like painting everything, you know. Yeah. So, that's actually a drainage system, you know, set up for, cleaning the screens.
Oh, nice.
That was made from the toilet. That was like, you know, in the unit. That was the only toilet in, you know.
In the shop at that?
Yeah, in the whole property. It was literally out in the shed, you know, basically. I was like, alright, a wee bit weird. But, you know, because there's plumbing, we could set it up then,
That's
you know,
great,
like
yeah.
we...
Turned into your advantage.
Yeah, and then there was a sink right beside it. So it was like, wow, you know, that actually worked out really, really well. And then we've got the, you know, the spray painter,
Got him back in for more good work.
yeah. But, oh yeah, he was just, I love his work, but it was just chaotic the way he worked, you know. He was in there like so late in the night. There was a moment actually, the painter, like I left. I was like, all right, man, see you later. Just whenever you're done, lock up, you know.
Time is this on?
Well, 5 o'clock, you know. And then the next morning came in, the shop's still unlocked. He was still there. Like he was just standing there looking at the wall, like, you know, like all spaced out. I'm like, you good, man? He's like, yeah. You know, and he's like...
This guy dropped mushrooms the second you walked.
You know, I don't know, but like, you know, the guy was just like so, like, good at it, you know, like, I'm assuming he was like trying to figure out what to do next, you know, with the wall. But the problem is, like, I never told him what to do. You know, I was like,
Just give him a blank canvas.
I only wanted one wall. It was like his dolls, and we still have in his current staff room, right? That I loved. Like, I just want that wall, you know, like that. Everything else, here's a wall, do whatever you want, right? There's more on that later, you know, but he went chaotic with it.
Which is
like
awesome.
this.
Yeah, how cool is it?
I mean, like, look at that mural, you know.
Really cool.
I was just like, you know, the disability, toy baby changing area. So he thought, like, oh, let's make it really childish, you know.
Which is awesome.
Let's do this bear that looks like Elvis. You know, with his hair, you know, see it?
So it's
like,
awesome. It's so cool, so creative.
It is awesome, but it wasn't on brand. But then at the time, I didn't know what was on brand.
What was on brand for the disabled toilets?
Exactly. Yeah. So like,
Good question.
what the hell, you know, do we do? But then people were making comments like, oh man, you know, maybe cover that one up, you know, do something different with it. So I was like, mate, let's do like something like cool psychedelic-y.
Awesome.
And you done that.
Awesome. Second time's a try, apparently.
Are you sure?
I think that's it.
Look at the crazy deal. And then like he started like painting the floor.
We're getting a bit out there.
Yeah, with the hearts and the dust. So like it went the opposite way, you know.
Dropping acid.
This was like completely, like not what we expected, you know, and then all over the floor. So we got, like sandpaper and started sanding everything, you know, on the floor. Cause like, there's nothing else. Like we were not going to have hearts on the floor, like, you know, so it was like, me and my friend just got, you know, sandpaper and started going for it, you know. Yeah. Like, the joiner lent us, like this is how like friendly we became as a joiner. He lives in Drumore, like, and he knows my stepson and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, I can't borrow your sander. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Sure, call him to the house.
Oh, what a nice fella.
Oh, he's such a legend. Like, but yeah, and then there's always like little points, you know, little points that like need to finish off. So there's always something we were working on, you know, and then like this is some of the other work that like the
beautiful work. Yeah, we'll get to show this all off. It is really cool.
No, he is good whenever you give him direction.
Yeah.
Problem is I didn't give him direction, you know, so he just cracked out like loads of things, you know. But yeah, that's him working. I was watching it on like Instagram while I was like, you know, at home, like after work, you know, him like working away.
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, like that, it is class, you know, like, he's the loveliest guy in the world as well. And then, there's like a bunch of other stuff, but we'll touch on that in a bit.
We'll get on to it all, yes.
Yeah. No, thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you in the next episode. What was the sign off? Very beauty AMAVI.
You're so professional.